Online shopping, right? It's totally changed the game, turning our phones and laptops into these massive, endless marketplaces. But, with all that convenience, a whole new set of risks has popped up. So today, we're going to unpack that digital shopping cart. We'll look at the protections you have right now and what's on the horizon to keep us all safer tomorrow. Let's get into it.
I mean, it's pretty mind-blowing when you really think about it. One single click and you can get almost anything, from practically anywhere in the world delivered right to your front door. E-commerce isn't just another way to shop anymore, it's this huge global force that has completely redefined what convenience means for billions of people.
Yeah, that super easy click can sometimes lead to some pretty big headaches. What if the product you get is a total fake? Or you get slammed with a bunch of hidden fees you didn't see coming? Or even worse, your personal data gets stolen or misused. And that right there is the big dilemma of online shopping, balancing that incredible ease against some very, very real dangers. So let's start there. Let's pull back the curtain and look at those hidden dangers. What are the specific tripwires out there that can turn that amazing digital dream into a bit of a consumer nightmare? I'm guessing some of these look pretty familiar, right? We've all seen those ads that promise the world or those 5-star reviews that just feel a little off. These problems, everything from fake products to surprise charges, they do more than just cost us money. They actually start to chip away at the trust we have in the whole online system. So what's the real problem underneath all of this? Well, it boils down to this cool economic concept called information asymmetry. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. The seller almost always knows way more about the product, its real quality, and its true cost than you do. That creates a serious imbalance of power, and that imbalance is exactly what consumer protection laws are designed to fix. Okay, so if there's this power imbalance, how do we level the playing field? Well, to fight back against these dangers, a whole framework of rights has been built to act as a kind of digital safety net for all of us. Let's take a look at what that is. These 5 ideas are really the foundation of consumer protection. It all starts with the right to information, getting clear, honest details about what you're actually buying. That leads to fair practices, which means no deceptive ads or shady tactics. Then there's privacy. Your personal data has to be protected. And hey, if things go wrong, you have a right to a grievance system to make a complaint, which should hopefully lead to a fair refund or a replacement. These aren't just nice ideas. They're your fundamental rights when you shop online. Now, while those core rights are pretty universal, the way they're actually put into practice can look totally different depending on where you live. This chart is a fantastic snapshot of those different priorities. You see in the US, there's a huge focus on truth in advertising. Over in the EU, they're the world leaders on data privacy with GDPR. India, on the other hand, really emphasizes making sure people have a way to complain. And China has put a lot of energy into cracking down on counterfeit goods. It just goes to show how different places come up with their own unique strategies to tackle the same basic problems. But here's the reality check. Having laws is one thing, but actually enforcing them in this super fast, borderless world of e-commerce, well, that's a whole other story. Take a look at this number, 70%. That's roughly the amount of all e-commerce that's cross-border. I mean, just think about that for a second. You're in one country, the seller is in another, and the website servers are in a third. You can see how that alone creates a massive headache when it comes to enforcement. And that leads us straight to this quote, which nails the problem. When you're dealing with cross-border sales, holding someone accountable gets really complicated really fast. Whose laws even apply? How do you go after a seller who's thousands of miles away? It's this messy, tangled web that makes enforcement so incredibly tough. And it's not just the border problem. Fake sellers are still everywhere, and technology, like AI pricing, is just moving way faster than regulators can keep up. But look at that last point. This might be the biggest hurdle of all. A lot of us just don't know what our rights are, which makes it pretty much impossible to stand up for them. So what's next? Where do we go from here? Because as the technology keeps charging ahead, the way we protect consumers has to evolve right along with it. A huge concept for the future is something called algorithm transparency. Basically, it's the idea that companies should have to explain how their AI decided to show you a certain price, or why it recommended one product over another. It's all about pulling back the curtain on those invisible computer programs that are shaping our online world. Looking ahead, we can probably expect a bigger push for international agreements to deal with those cross-border problems. Data privacy rules are only going to get stricter. And there's this growing movement to include things like sustainability as a consumer right.
But notice that last point again. Even with all the new laws in the world, a huge piece of the puzzle is always going to be education, making sure all of us are empowered to be smarter, safer shoppers.
At the end of the day, it's so important to get this. The goal isn't to stop innovation or slow down business. It's about finding that sweet spot, that perfect balance, so that as e-commerce keeps growing, it stays fair, accountable, and trustworthy for everyone involved.
Which really leaves us with one final thought. The platforms we shop on are getting smarter every single day, powered by incredible AI and global logistics. So the real question is, are we keeping up? As consumers, are we getting smarter too?